Welcome to Down in Front. I'm Andy Neitzert. Hi. Joel Shuttlesworth. We've got 4 movies to review, and only one of them was seen by both of us. So we're gonna start off with the one that we both saw, which was Edge of Darkness, with the Mel Gibson.
Ooh, the Mel Gibson.
Yep.
I boycotted Apocalypto and a couple other Mel Gibson movies just because he's kind of a tool, and I didn't like that whole thing with him being, with the anti-Semitic business.
Yeah,
Didn't like that. Probably should have kept to my boycott for this one.
definitely.
It was real similar to like Taken and Payback and the same sort of thing. The only thing that really excited me was this was one of the first times in a long time that one of those jump scares actually got me, and got me real good.
Yeah.
There's one part in it, and like the scenes with the killing, and because it's in the trailer that the daughter gets shot. And that's why old Mel goes through and shoots up the joint. But that happens, and you're like, okay, I get it. But then anybody else that actually gets killed in this, it's just out of nowhere. Like you don't expect these things to actually happen. And usually there's a build up, and then boom, something happens, but you're ready for it. This one, it's just out of nowhere, man. I mean, I don't want to spoil it because, like I said, it's the one that got me, so I don't want to, mess with anybody.
So there's this girl getting out of a car.
Oh, okay, fine. Andy spoiled it.
And I knew something was going to happen because I'm like, okay, there's too much. There was a lot of, you can always tell when it's coming because there's like this. There's always a pause.
But usually you see like a car coming through the window nowadays.
Or you hear it, or so
Yeah.
there's some kind of indication as to what's going to happen. And I knew something was going to happen. Like
I had
I was
no
expecting
idea.
a sniper bullet through the windshield or something,
Yeah.
but they end their conversation and she gets out. She's not even completely out of the car yet, and a car hits her and takes out the door, like it's half open and just goes, BAM! It was
Well,
awesome.
It's like shot from Mad Mel's perspective in the driver's seat. So you're looking out, and she just kind of gets out, and then boom, a car hits her. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's really
And they didn't
cool.
end there. It wasn't just like smash, cut. It was smash, roll over the hood, fly onto the ground, roll a bit, and then they show the body. And that was the one thing I want to give this thing credit for, is that they really didn't hold back with the, I don't want to say gore, but with the definitely with the violence. They didn't hold back with the effects, the actual effects of your face scraping across the road. So that was really impressive. But other than that, there was really nothing.
They could have very easily pulled this off as a PG-13.
Yeah.
If they'd stayed away from any of that gore and any of that. And also, honestly, they could have done this in like 45 minutes. This movie was like almost 2 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
And there are parts in the middle where you're supposed to get into all the intrigue and what's going on. But really, they barely tell you enough to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I knew that there was this group and there was that group, and they were like opposing factions, but I had no idea who was related to what group and what exactly each one of their goals was. It was just like blind names.
It was very much like a combination of Payback and Enemy of the State with Will Smith, where it was like, there's some kind of government conspiracy, and they're trying to cover it up, so they're tying up the loose ends by killing off all these people, and Mel Gibson's thrown into the middle of it because his daughter was involved with all of it, and I was so uninterested in all of that backstory, like her involvement with the whole thing. Like I didn't care because they touched on it a little bit, but they really just it was just one big, this corporation is naughty, and that was it. And so because of that, they spent so much time kind of hinting at stuff that they did the same thing with the Mel Gibson story, where it was like, it was just kind of him talking to people for the longest time, and then while he's like right after he talks to somebody, they get killed, and that happens throughout the whole movie.
Well,
And
I mean, it wouldn't be bad if he was going and talking to these people if he actually said something interesting instead of, "Duh, do you know who killed my daughter?
yeah, it was the same. It was literally like a professional police investigation every time.
Who killed my daughter? I can't tell you. You're gonna tell me. No, I'm not. Shoot.
Yeah, or it was, you're gonna tell me, okay,
You're not gonna tell me? I'll be back.
I'm not gonna tell you anything. All right, I'll tell you everything.
Yeah,
And
I
then
implore
dead.
you to reconsider.
Yeah, and then dead.
Yeah, he either comes back and shoots him, or he comes back, someone else has shot him. And Ray Winstone was completely just not used enough in this thing. I love that dude. He's got like this air to him that he's just, that he's probably done some really awesome stuff before. That he's like maybe been an assassin, or like like he's a ninja assassin, like he just goes around to airports and kills ninjas.
Yeah.
But but he's really barely used in this, and his character, that's the one that I was actually interested in, and they really just focused all on Mel Gibson, who's just a bumbling cop who's shooting people. When you've got this really cool character who's like, I'm the man that can stops you from connecting A to B. Really? How do you do that? I'm not gonna tell you.
I'm gonna talk for the whole movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty disappointing because he was he was like the one that you expected to be the one who kills everyone, and he probably is responsible for killing most of the people, but you never see it.
Yeah.
And the language in this movie. Now I'm fine with the language, like with bad language. I'm fine with it. Whatever. Everybody uses it. It's normal. But this was like, okay, it's an R-rated movie. We gotta throw some we got violence. Let's throw some language in there. So there's this character, and this is where it stood out the most.
Yeah.
The daughter's boyfriend.
Yeah.
It's an F-bomb is literally every other word, and it's annoying because it's totally incomprehensible speech. It's just F this, F this, F this. I'm effing dead and all this crap, and
Oh no,
I'm like,
I'm effing dead.
I'm like, whatever. You're emotional, but dear screenwriter, think of something else.
Yeah.
What was the movie that we talked about where we decided that they couldn't figure out what else to put in, so they just threw a bunch of F-bombs in
Oh
there?
right, yeah. I don't even. Well, that's how important. That
Oh,
movie was.
Boondock Saints 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even see that one, man.
Yeah.
I just that Troy Duffy guy. He could have wrote this screenplay too.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So anyway, that's I don't think we liked it.
Well, no, I mean it's got some cool parts, but it's stretched out way too long. I liked about 30, 45 minutes of it. The rest was just boring as all hell.
Yeah, if they took out all the boring segments in the middle of it,
Or explained it a little bit better,
Yeah.
then maybe it would have been.
or made it more interesting.
Yeah.
You can't be much more interesting with the story when it's like, this corporation and the government, they're in cahoots and they're making weapons.
But
and-
instead, we have long, drawn out shots of Mel Gibson packing a suitcase. He's not even going anywhere.
It's very sad.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're gonna move on to what do we want to do next?
Why don't you tell me about When in Rome?
Okay, we're gonna do When in Rome now. When in Rome, I saw with my wife because it was a chick flick, and unfortunately, normally with chick flicks, you've got the guy is always like, "Oh God," and the girl is always like, but this was
Exactly like that.
it was just both of us just going, "Oh," like the whole time. When in Rome is a story of this girl Beth whose sister is getting married after knowing this guy for 2 weeks, and so she goes to Rome for 2 days. The backstory is she's one of the curators of the Guggenheim in New York,
That's a fun word.
yeah, and so she goes to Rome and goes to the wedding, and she goes into the Fontana de Amor, which is I know that's what I was doing. The fountain of love is what it is. So she takes the coins out and she says, "I'm saving you from love." And she takes out these 5 coins.
Was she crying while she did it?
No, she was drunk.
Oh. Drunk. That's bad.
Yeah. So anyway, she takes all these coins, and if you've seen the trailer, you know what it is. All of them, by some kind of magic spell, become enamored
Did
with
they
her.
explain, like, was it a magic thing?
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
it really
the
wasn't
coins were thrown into the fountain in order for those people to find their true love. Well, she took them out of the fountain, and
What a jerk.
yeah, she took them out of the fountain, and they all become enamored with her. So they all follow her back to America, and it's Dax Shepard, Will Arnett, John Hader, right? John Heater, Napoleon Dynamite,
Yeah.
and Danny DeVito.
Oh, Danny DeVito.
Yeah, and then this guy who I've seen in.
I hope, man, that would be awesome. To have
Yeah.
Danny DeVito chasing you around, like, yeah, I totally want to get you.
So when you think about these four really funny people, or at least they have been really funny before,
Oh, that's
you'd
not a good way to
expect
say
them
it.
to use them to great extent. The problem is all of them have less than 10 lines in the whole movie.
Yeah.
And it's always them just kind of together, showing up to pursue her. So John Heater, Napoleon Dynamite plays this magician, so he's always doing something quirky with magic. And
Aw.
Will Arnett plays this artist who draws a 10-story naked mural of her, which is kind of funny. And but anyway,
That might
that's
be
about
worth
all there
admission
is
right
to it.
there.
But there's no real conflict. Everything is over explained or not explained at all.
Yeah.
Like they really just kind of smash it into she's being chased by these people and it's all
It's
magic.
magic.
And so everything else that's going on in the movie is totally ignored. Like she's doing this piece for the Guggenheim and she needs a centerpiece, and luckily this guy that she
Sorry.
this guy that she has fallen for had a photograph taken of him that becomes the centerpiece of this. It's all very convenient and it's all very stupid, and I was pretty bored. And my wife likes Hannah Montana and boring crap like that. So I expected her to really love this thing, and no, she didn't like it. She made fun of it more than I did, and so we were pretty disappointed
Yeah.
on the whole. But what's her name? Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell
is unbelievably hot, and luckily.
Did you ever see Veronica Mars?
No.
It's a great show.
Okay. Is that something my wife would like to?
No, it doesn't have Hannah Montana in it,
Oh, okay.
but it does have Kristen Bell in it.
Kristen Bell. Anyway, there is a lot of Kristen Bell in it. Like there
You
is
know what else Kristen Bell's in? Heroes.
Who is she in Heroes?
She was in season 3.
Who?
She played an electric chick. She shot electricity.
Oh, the one from Ireland?
No. Her
Who's-
backstory is a mystery.
Oh, okay.
I will not explain it to you now because our viewers may want to catch it at some
I would
point.
really rather talk about Heroes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Do I finally get to talk about
there's
Heroes?
a lot of there's a lot of Kristen Bell in this movie, and she is unbelievably hot. And there's lots of close-ups, and the guy that she's in love with is a really good-looking dude.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that I'm kind of tired of these romantic comedies where the lead actress and the lead actor are these unbelievably attractive people, but they have such trouble finding love. I'm like, dude, you're like an underwear model, and you're like a supermodel, and you guys are having
Who's
trouble.
who?
I don't know. I wish Kristen Bell was the underwear. But yeah. Anyway, it was just
Yeah.
stupid.
They're going to
And
have problems finding someone.
It's all based around the fact that she took these coins out, and then the main drama is whether or not the guy loves her because he really loves her, or because she took his poker chip out of the fountain.
Did she ask him, did you ever throw a coin in?
No,
That
no.
probably would have solved the whole
She
thing.
kept giving in the end she kept giving the chip back to him because that's supposed to break the curse if you give the coins back.
Yeah.
So she gave the coins back to all the other ones, and it was very Wizard of Oz as she did it, because she's like,
Aw.
and this is for you, and I've learned a lot from you, and the dude's like, really, I was just trying to feel what I felt this is Danny DeVito, I was trying to feel how I felt when I was with my wife, and that was how he learned. And anyway, but she got to him, she gave it back, and nothing changed. She just thought that,
It's like, thanks.
yeah, and so he goes back, and it turns out that the preacher that married her sister and her sister's fiance, the priest he had won the hot guy's chip in a poker tournament, so the chip was thrown in by the preacher, but it belonged to him originally, so that's why she thought. Yeah, I know.
Now I don't even have to see it.
Yeah, they were really stretching that.
Thanks
Anyway,
a lot.
I don't recommend seeing this movie. If you absolutely have to, I'm sure it'll be on the Netflix instant queue pretty quick. But if you want to take your girl out and you want to make out with her, I'd take her to this, because she'll get bored and start watching something else or thinking about something else, which hopefully will be you. Good luck. All right, so that's about it for When in Rome. I hope you got something out of that.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we're gonna watch Single Man.
Here's a review of Single Man. Single Man is the story of this professor. I guess he's like an English professor or whatever. That's really like the tiniest little bit of information on that. But and there's an elephant in the room here, okay? Yes, this movie is very gay. That doesn't mean anything for me sitting here reviewing it by myself. But the point of it is, we've got you guys coming out. Are you even recording this? Okay, cool. How you doing? Logan saw it too. The way it worked is Colin Firth is this professor, and his lover gets killed in a car wreck, and it's really a shame because he can't mourn the death of his wonderful lover, who they're like absolutely in love with and stuff, or he was in love with, and you're really not going to help me with this, are you?
You got 6 minutes left.
6 minutes. Good. Basically, I really dug on this movie. There's a couple of things about it. Get out of my shot. There's you can sit in the chair. It's okay.
Sadie's chair.
Oh, okay. What I really dug about this one, even though there was a big homosexual vibe through the whole thing, you see a whole lot of indie movies where they're like, yeah, we're indie and edgy and we're totally gay, and they show you like a bunch of naked dudes, and then like you see the what they do, and like there was a movie called Short Bus that had like 3 dudes. Anyway, I'll tell you about that later if you want to email me. But it's very it's very vulgar and very explicit. This movie was very tasteful in what it showed. There's even a bunch of scenes with Colin Firth like completely naked in some water. But you're sitting there watching it, but the whole time you don't get that weird like. Well, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when I'm seeing something that's just really explicit and very outrageously homosexual, I get a little uncomfortable.
Well, okay, this was I know what you mean, the outrageously homosexual thing, but this made you more uncomfortable almost because it wasn't like, crazy
It was
nudity.
more romantic than
It was very
anything else.
romantic. It was like the scenes in what was the mountain movie? Brokeback Mountain, yes.
With there was a rape scene in that.
Was there?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Well,
I just saw the
there
trailer.
was. I thought it was. Well, there's a scene. There's a scene where they're in a tent and they're.
Oh,
and they
yeah.
And they
Spit in the hand.
I don't remember that part. but yeah, there's nothing like that in this one.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is you get to watch Colin Firth go through this entire spectrum of emotions because he's just devastated. I mean, this is the love of his life, and you've seen this kind of thing before, except without the twist on the actual ideas of it. And it's really cool because he can't really express it to anybody, because it's set in the 60s. And, he can't be like, oh no, my gay lover's dead. Because, that kind of stuff is hidden. It's under the surface.
That was really cool.
Yeah, I mean,
how repressed he had to be throughout the movie, and how, he was so quiet, and you could tell he was just dying inside.
Yeah,
trying to deal with this.
He has an amazing performance, But one thing that you didn't notice till the very end, but it happened through the whole movie, is the whole movie where he's by himself and he's going through that repressed emotion. Most of the color's just drained out of it.
Yeah.
But there are moments, and through the whole movie, he's considering killing himself, because he's really just at the end of his rope.
Yeah.
And anyway, when these moments happen where life comes back in, or when he gets those little glimpses of life, color fills up the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's a really cool artistic choice.
That was really neat. I didn't. You're right. I didn't notice until the very end, and I lean over to Joel and I go, "Oh my God, that's so cool! The color's draining back in whenever other people are around."
Yeah.
And there was the love interest, the student.
That's the other thing, man. I realized, and I've thought about this many a time, especially after my Bruno review.
I've thought about that review many times.
Yeah, I know, and well, most people have because I had my shirt off.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It's almost like in Hollywood, in order to be gay, you have to be like extremely attractive.
Yeah.
Like everyone, he almost picks up this this male prostitute. This guy is like, I mean, exquisitely beautiful, you know, and in a totally, you know, just, you know, like I want to sculpt him, not, you know, want to fight him. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You
I
know,
do.
like he's just exquisitely beautiful. And then there's a love interest that comes in later, and again, just amazing. You know, you can't deny the good looks of these boys.
Yeah.
And
Isolate. Can we please isolate that?
no, no, we can't. But it really was just a sweet movie. But there was you find the beauty in the pain of it.
Yeah.
And really, I mean, Colin Firth goes through so many emotions in the very beginning of it. And then, like, you see his initial reaction to the death, and then you kind of see him feeling like life might be a little bit worth living, which is really kind of cool that it starts off in that, you know, rock bottom,
Yeah.
and then
You
kind of
see him
moves
lift up just a
moves
little
up
bit.
a little bit. Usually it's, you know, I'm crapping off the moon, and then, you know, everything happens and it's bad, blah, 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 and then
And you know
end the
who was
movie.
really good in this, who I usually can't stand in movies, is Julianne Moore.
I couldn't stand her in this movie.
You couldn't?
It's the Boston accent or whatever
No,
she
she was
had.
doing. She was like the dirty old English broad.
That's how good she was. Her English accent sounded like Boston to me. And I
No,
mean,
it was good, though. I mean,
she was a great character, but she just annoyed me. I have trouble with accents anyway.
Well, she's like she can't do accents really well, but that was what I was surprised at, that she did the old English accent okay.
Yeah,
No, we got 8 seconds left.
8 seconds. All
She
right.
was-
So all in all, I really enjoyed Single Man, and if it doesn't bother you, then with the gay, then go see it. There we go. Sorry, Single Man's up.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about Legion now, which I didn't have
Yeah,
time
what'd
to
you
see.
think?
I didn't have time to see again.
Oh, couldn't be bothered, huh?
I'll trade you lives for a week.
Oh no, that's okay. Well, I tried to get a little bit.
So
of
Joel's
Legion
gonna
in
talk
there.
about it a little bit because he saw it.
The
I
only
guess
one who saw
I
it,
guess it's been a week since you saw it. So
and I want to tell everybody about it.
you do or you don't?
I do.
Okay. Well, let me. No, don't let me. Go ahead.
Would you like to set it up?
Yeah.
What happens in this movie?
Uh.
What are you doing?
Oh, I don't know. Nobody. There's angels and an ice cream truck and a pregnant lady and Kimi from Lost and that's about it.
Yep.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Go see it.
No, it really wasn't awesome, dude. You'd think that something like this would be pretty cool. Like, God has just turned his back on humanity and said, you know, you guys all suck, and he sends down his angels to wipe everything out. And that sounds kind of cool, but it's weird to try and grasp onto the whole angels being like super badass and coming in and killing everybody. Because like when I think of angels, I think of like, you know, little cherubs and you know, really bright stuff. You know, happy, peaceful.
Really, really
angels
good looking guy angels that you don't
that I
want
just want to sculpt.
you want to sculpt
Yeah.
and you know
And that.
not fight.
Anyway, it really was. I mean, this movie has been done better before with The Prophecy. That's the only other time that I've been like, okay, angels can be kind of awesome. Most of the time, when I see stuff with angels in it, it's like angels in the outfield, or it's like one phenomenon about
City of Angels.
Michael. No, that's
Yeah,
Michael.
Michael. City of
Yeah.
Angels.
Yeah, I mean, you've got that whole idea of angels just kind of turns me off. Prophecy, the first one, awesome, because you had that kind of menace, like they're really strong and they can do stuff. This one, very first scene, comes down, he's got the wings, chops the wings off so he can blend in with whoever, like normal people, but he's got like tattoos all over him and stuff. You know, I don't know about you guys, but in my Bible studies, I found that tattoos are wrong and sinful. And it's just it's hard to really like this guy who's supposed to be the hero because he doesn't really say anything. The only thing he says is, "You guys all suck. God's turned his back on you, but I'm gonna go ahead and save you anyway." Hooray! Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you coming down and helping out. You know, there were some cool special effects. Grandma running around the diner was pretty cool. That's in the trailer. Ice Cream Man, Doug Jones, awesome. Always good. I could have used some more Doug Jones. who does all this stuff in Pan's Labyrinth, if you've ever seen those. But really, this is Prophecy Light. This is also something on, if you want to check out the Netflix Instant Queue, Gabriel is way better than this one. And it's just a huge ripoff of The Crow, which makes it even better. But it's the same sort of idea, one angel versus other angels. Really, the funniest thing and the only reason to see this movie is for the end fight scene when it's angel on angel. And apparently angels fight by spinning around in circles.
And whipping their wings at people?
Not whipping wings. No, just spinning.
Just spinning?
Yeah, like the wings don't even like come out like to the side like a big razor blade, which I would have been cool.
Yeah.
You know, but no, like the wings encase his back still, and he spins and kind of flies up, and you know the other guy's shooting his bullets at him, and he's blocking the bullets with his wings. It really doesn't make any sense.
Wait, so bullets can kill angels?
I don't know, but he was shooting at him.
Okay.
I don't remember if I don't even remember. I think it was Michael that was the one that we're supposed to like, but he never really got shot. You know, he doesn't get shot up or anything. Oh, by the way, Quaid's in this.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing now. I mean, Pandorum and Legion. He's like trying to
It
make
is really weird. It's like Denzel in Book of Eli. It's these Oscar winners or these really like, you know, the serious
well,
actor.
it's not, I don't want to compare Legion and
No, I'm not
Pandorum
comparing
to
films. I'm
Book
talking
of
about
Eli.
like the Oscar winners who are doing these things that are kind of out of their element.
Right.
Where they're like, Denzel, you're used to, you know, Oscar-winning dramatic
Preacher's
glory,
wife.
Denzel, and now he's, you know, badass, kick everybody, and
But Dennis Quaid just shows up places now.
oh yeah,
That's, That's the thing, is he really didn't have a point in, Pandorum. He was the main character, basically, kind of, in Pandorum, and he was useless. In this one, he's just like, you don't like him. He's got a son who works on cars at his diner, and you don't care if anything good ever happens to these people that are stuck in this diner. Because basically what happens, the angel shows up to this diner, and it's got a car repair shop with it, too. And everything happens right there.
it's one of those places where they cook the fries in the car.
Yeah,
oil.
yeah, they'll just, drop it in the oil and then on one thing. But everyone in here, like there's the pregnant girl, there's this guy like who has one arm or one hand, and Dennis Quaid and his son, and none of them are worth a damn. Who cares if anything happens to these people? You know, I couldn't tell you the name of any of them. They just kind of are there at the diner for some reason. The baby that this girl's gonna have is gonna save the world.
Do they ever show God?
No,
I'm always interested to see Hollywood's take on
and they only show
God.
2 angels.
Really?
Yeah,
So like that swarm that you see come down?
you don't
those-
see it.
Really?
Yeah, no, they possess people.
Oh, that's stupid.
They do the Matrix thing where they're like, "Blah, blah, blah, blah," and then there's somebody else.
That's stupid. Anyway, so I guess don't see Legion.
It was crap.
It was crap. So that's our show for this week. Check us out on Facebook. Search for Down in Front, downinfront.blib.tv. Special thanks to Hollywood Theaters, Mackenzie's Seafood and Steaks, Scotch Costumes, and Acton Public Television in Acton, Massachusetts, I think. I don't know. I forgot. For making a special request that we start sending them episodes via DVD. So awesome. Thanks. And that's about it. We'll see you next week.